Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Young Merlin for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. In the last video, we went through the flooded cavern. We got a blue gem. We had to go back through the flooded cavern. We got a bubble for it. We used the bubble to find 2 heart containers, as well as a goldfish for the wizard, whose name escapes me for some reason. Casolari, that's it. When we gave the goldfish to Casolari, we got a spring. And the spring lets us jump here. And we picked up this weird-looking thing that looks like this. There is a use for this thing. We don't know it yet, but we will find out. So what's happening here? Well, we need to go through this archway in order to find out. And as soon as we do, we are immediately met by a fire on the ground, which will burn to the touch, which reminds me of the final boss battle against Morgana and King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. Yeah, that game. And we have these 3 bowls that we need to put things in. The only thing that even remotely reminds us of a rainbow is the rainbow water, where we throw the gems in. As you've seen, there's 3 different types of, well, okay. Back up a bit. Let's not say that yet. I am choosing my words carefully here so I can explain stuff. Now, you obviously know from seeing the rainbow water, because the game tells you that you can get water from where you throw the gems, that you can get rainbow water if you use a bottle over there. So let's do that. Now, you're probably expected to put a tulip in here. That doesn't work. You're probably expected to throw a daffodil in here. I'm assuming this is a daffodil. That doesn't work either. So what does? This. But why? Well, you have to think about it. The rainbow water goes here. The water that we used here earlier is the water near the tulips. Which means that if we... I can't heal here. Are you serious? As I was saying, the water, the rainbow water that you can use the bottle to get near where you throw the gems, that rainbow water goes here. The water coming from the spring near where you found the tulip, which you'd have to be paying attention to know that you can pick up, goes here. The blue water, where the fairy was that gave you invincibility, the daffodil was near that. You put it here. You put all 3 of those waters in the buckets where you're supposed to, and the fire goes out. You don't put the tulip here. You don't put the daffodil here. You put the water near the flowers in their respective spots. This is the water near the rainbow, this is the water near the tulip, and this is the water near the daffodil, because the place where you throw the gems has a rainbow. Of course, if you didn't think about the rainbow, but you knew about the rainbow water, you'd still know that this goes here. But unless you put 2 and 2 together with the water and the flowers, you wouldn't. Also, because I can't finish the puzzle If I leave, I have to put these waters in here all over again. So guess who has to go back and get everything again? This guy! And now, I need to use the spring, quickly switch to the magic powder, get rid of the dwarf, who is not a kobold like I thought he was, and then you have to go back through the flooded cavern and hopefully not die. No, no, why did I? No. Cavern bad, no get mermaid there. Yes, get in my way. You think I'd remember not to do this. At least he gets trapped there, so I don't have to see him anymore. And then, after all that, we have to get back over there. I healed a little bit, and I remembered that I need to press select at this point to do this. Alright. So, I need to do a thing, but I'm not quite sure how to do it. However, I think this will give me an idea. It does. This will split everyone up so that I don't have to get past them, and that'll give me full health. I'm glad I was picking up those things so that way I can get full health. Or temporarily invulnerability. I would have been fine with either one. I mean, at this rate, I'll be healing myself up anyway. So, good on me to get all those shamrocks. So, we need to pick up the waters again. You've probably known about the waters, but you're probably still going to be stumped on that puzzle because the way that everything is presented, there's still a chance that the player will be confused. Heck, even I was confused at first. Let's refill on health. And let's get our rainbow water. And now we are going to get our spring water. And then we're going to go back to where the fairy was and get the blue water. I'm not quite sure what else to call it besides blue water. I'll just call it blue water anyway. Anyway, we need to get back to the mine, and then back through the flooded cavern, and then back to the room we went into at the start of this video. I mean, you're going to have the backtrack anyway, given how you're doing things, but is it really any surprise? Okay. This is the part that I am not looking forward to. However, if I do it like that... You know what? No. No, no, no. We went too far. We went too far down. I'm not going back now. No. Alright. We need to do this again. And you can tell that I am not a big fan of this. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's simple enough. But one, you really need the bubble to really get anywhere confidently. Especially if you're trying to pick up health extensions. And two, they put the fish in the worst places. I can't believe I avoided that. Okay. Let's avoid the sea anemone. We're gonna take this one, because the lower one has an evil fish in it. And then we're gonna go back over here. I love how the little hole near this opening has a fish in it. Just to mess with you. Same with the one south of that opening. Okay. Get the powder. And then get the spring. I can afford to use the L and R buttons here because I'm not pressured by either the environment or by nearby enemies. Alright. Pond water goes here, aka the blue water. I'm almost considered calling it the pond water, but I'm better off just calling it blue water. The spring water goes here, and we know what to do with the rainbow water. It's gone. The fire is gone. Now, believe it or not, you can push this out of the way, and then use the balloon to get yourself another health extension. You're probably wondering how to get this. Now you know. And this is just like the ladder. You find the magic pistol and you'll be able to drop down. We push this out of the way. And yeah, we push the one that we pushed at the top right and the other one down. And you can walk past the lava. Game messes with you with the perspective that way. And that looks familiar. What if I use this now? Cool. So, we have some things that we can do. And we have some puzzles that we need to solve. This leads to nothing. I don't even know why this hallway is here. Okay. Okay. We need to push these things to other things. We have 5 switches here, including this one. I may have trapped myself doing that. Or maybe not. And we want to start by pushing some of these out of the way. I think. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and restart that just to be safe. And I want to see what else I can do around here. Okay. There's a way to do this. And I know that I'm going to find it. And I believe if we can push that out of the way and that out of the way, we should be good. But, well, that still leaves us in a bad spot. So, let's try this again. Obviously, we need to push this out of the way in order to get here first. That's a given. And we need to start pushing things where we need to push them. So, if I were to push this first, then work at the top, I should be able to do this. So let's try this first. But before we push that one at the top there, we're going to push this to the left, and then we can work back at the top again. Now, the middle one here, you only want to push down once, so you can push this here, and then you have the puzzle solved. Now for another puzzle of sorts. Now, this one is deceptively simple. The way this is set up, it makes the player think that you have to keep two on both sides at all times. That's not how this works at all. So, what you have to do is push all of these to one side, and then you have to get everything from right to left. At least, I'm pretty much led to believe that. I can push this right here. And then I can keep two other ones across from it. And we're going to push this all the way to the left switch. But we're not going to keep it there because we're going to push it back here. And we can push this from outside of the checkerboard floor. Push this here. And then we can solve the rest of the puzzle very easily. And there we go. Now this little area, if you know what you're doing, is undoable for now, I think. You can't use the powder against him. You can't use the balloon. That won't get him past you. The bubble is useless. You can't use the spring. Nothing you have seems to work here. So, you can't do anything there at the time being. So all we can do now is equip the powder. And we need to go in here, go to the next room, and we'll face a slime monster. You will need to face this thing and hit it with a bunch of stars. Is it not working because I'm hitting this from the outside? Seems that way. Anyway, once we hit this thing enough times, or maybe you're not supposed to do that. You just have to stay away from it. Thankfully, when it stops making noise, that's when you move. And you have to destroy all 4 of those little slime pieces. Now, you can't heal here. So all you can do is just hope for the best. Take out the rest of the pieces of the slime. Thankfully, when a piece is destroyed, it stays destroyed even when you die. Glad to learn that. And that will take you over here. There's this weird bunch of machinery here. And you have a key now. Very interesting. And this thing destroys something, or matches it together, or something, and turns into something new. But anything we put in here is not going to work. Yeah, I didn't think that would work because, well, we have no use for it anymore. So we're going to have to do things in order to find an object that we can put in that. We don't have that object yet. So we've been here. However, there is one more problem to solve. There's one more puzzle that we can do while we're here. And it's opened up at the start. It's right here, I think. Or maybe it's opened up after you do all that. But what you have to do is push all these things into all these switches. So here's what we need to do. We need to push everything to the top first. Everything down here. I pushed the one in the middle to the upper left because that gives me more room to maneuver. You're better off doing that. And there's a green gem down there. We're going to get that. Don't worry. Now here's what we need to do. We're going to push this up once. And we need to push this middle one to the left twice. And then we can push this all the way here. We had ease of pushing things in that corner as opposed to this one. I believe you have more ease of pushing things in this one. I believe that yeah, you have to do it that way, I would think. Maybe? Yeah, you would have to do it from the left first because you have more room for this. If you tried to do this from the right, it would be impossible and you'd have to reset. So let's push this here, but let's not put it in position yet. I believe I don't want to put it in position yet. Or I could still do it. Yeah, I could still do it. Would I, though? Would I want to do that? I could still do that. What you can do is you can push two of these to the bottom. The one we just put in position as well as this one. And then you could just move the first one to place, or you can do what I'm doing. Except, if I didn't have this one put in, I'd have to reset. So this one, you would have to put it into position first. And then you'd have to... Yeah, you would have to put both of them into position before working on the last one. And I'm going to put this right here. And finally, we can push this over here. And now that we have all the room in the world, there's nothing stopping us from putting this on the last switch. And that opens this door. Now we can't push that onto the brown floor because the brown floor is not the puzzle floor. You can push things from the brown floor if it's on the puzzle floor, if the thing is on the puzzle floor, but you can't push anything from the puzzle floor onto a brown floor. So here, you just move these two statues down. This goes to the right. I think. Oh dear. Well, we can always reset. Thankfully, when something is solved, it stays solved. So we don't have to do any of the puzzles again, which is great. So we have this done. We have this pretty much figured out. We just push these two things down. But we need to look at the other set of statues from both angles. We can't push that there. So we would have to do all our pushing from the other end. And I find out where you can go behind that rock. You should be able to push this. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I see. I had it right the whole time. You have to go back and push the other one. Silly me. And if you want, you can just push that to the left and make it even easier to get around. And there is a reset point, but why would you want to use it when you have everything done? So we are finally done with all of this, and there's nothing else to do. So we can now leave. But wait, what if... Okay, good. Everything stays solved. I still have to push some things. More than likely. But does everything say solved? Everything safe solved. It's just that the non-puzzle statues are all moved back into place magically once you leave. Wanted to be absolutely sure of that before I had another dilemma on my hands. And I hate the fact that he's coming at me. Okay. We have our gem. And we can now get rid of that guy. And now we can go through this little area here. Let's not touch any of the nearby caverns. We do want to touch this one, though, because this one will give us a mermaid. Thankfully, once you have everything memorized a little bit, and you're ready for anything, the flooded caverns become less annoying, though they're still annoying. Especially when that happens. I mean, you have to be ready for a random hammerhead shark to just absolutely nail you while you're trying to do things. This is why it pays to get the bubble as quickly as possible, so you don't have to deal with anything terrible. And I need my balloon. Alright. Now that I'm not being annoyed by any enemies or anything, I can just go back. And I am going to go ahead and fight off the dwarves one by one. Just let them come at me. And now these just the one. Before I do that, though, I will go ahead and get the heart here, just to give myself an easier time. It's there. I might as well grab it. And why am I switching to... oh, yeah, because I had to use a balloon. Right. Let's go ahead and take care of this guy on the off chance that he has a heart, and he doesn't. And then we are going to go back, heal up, because we need it. We're really going to need it. And I'm probably going to get 3 more bottles of just to be on the safe side, unless the game decides to throw me another curveball regarding that. And then we're going to use the powder to get past the monsters. And then we're going to throw in the green gem. And that gives us a mirror. Meanwhile, now there's 2 of them, which makes getting back there even more difficult. And guess what? You have to go back through the flooded cavern again and deal with those guys just to get to that machine that chomps at something and makes it into something new. But we're going to need to do something with this mirror that we suddenly have in our possession. But what exactly do we do with it? We're going to have to find out in the next video. So, join me next time where we figure out what to do with this mirror as we continue our adventure. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!